Hello, Paul Pluta channel, and today I'm doing paid watch reviews, fuckers. And I gotta tell you, remember, like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends about my channel. And today, please also go in the description, go and check the description, see 10 ways you can keep me full-time on YouTube, because without your support, I wouldn't survive, fuckers. I would not survive. Man cannot survive on Google Ads alone. Remember that. Okay, this is from Jock. Hi, Archie. Refer to me as Jock so as to keep me anonymous from the hateful fuckers that watch your channel. I'm an entrepreneur in my early 20s from Scotland who loves to travel the world scuba diving. I am embarrassed to admit I've been one of those leeches who've watched your thousands of hours of entertainment and insightful YouTube content for years and never contributed. I am writing now for a collection review. I have shaped this collection over the last few years with the watch knowledge I have gained from your channel. Please find attached the PayPal payment, 30 Great British Pounds, not your Aussie pesos. Watches are my obsession. I'm not embarrassed to admit I'm a pre-ceramic Rolex fanboy. My collection consists of, here we go, Rolex GMT 16700, Rolex GMT 16710, Rolex GMT two-tone 16713, Rolex Explorer 2 16570, Rolex Daytona White Dial 116520, Hoya Camaro Date 1971 Vintage, Breitling Navi Timer A23322, Rolex Submariner No Date 14060, Rolex Sea Dweller 16600, Rolex Yachtmaster 16622, Rolex Oyster Date 115200, Tudor Oyster Royal, Omega Speedmaster Professional 861 movement from the 70s, Omega Speedmaster Reduced, all purchased second hand, obviously. One day in the distant future I plan to sell off most of the collection and leave myself with 4 steel stunners that will each get a decent amount of wrist time. What 4 do you think fit the bill? Also, the Daytona is mint in box and purely an investment as their prices are skyrocketing. Please use the photo attached in the video and hope that £30 will get you a decent bottle of something nice. Stay focused on watch content. Also, would love to see some videos on vintage Hoya. They don't get much of a mention on your channel. Thanks for everything, Jock. Wowzers, fuckers. What do you think? What a super fucking collection there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 fucking watches. What would I do? What for? Well, Jock, you got a great collection. I got no problems with it there. You got some really cool pieces. Look, I would say, what 4 would I keep looking at this collection here? Look, I would simply say, okay, let's go through it. I would say we'd have to keep 1 GMT. I'd probably go the 16710. I would go, I reckon if you want to keep 4, I'd say the Daytona is a definite. The White Dial 116520, keep that. So we've got a GMT, we've got a Daytona. We'd have to keep a Rolex dive watch. I would say Sea Dweller 16600. And I'd probably say for the 4th watch, I would probably say, this is very hard. 4 watches only, man. I'd probably keep the 70s Speedmaster Professional, the man on the moon. That's what I'd be keeping there. But look, you've got I think you got a great collection there, Jock. You've bought Steel Sports, Omega, Rolex Sports. You got a really good collection. collection, and it's a nice, you can't go wrong with a lot of things you bought there. You really can't go wrong. I mean, GMTs have been a great investment. The Daytona's great. You know, you got some things like the Breitling. The Breitling I wouldn't say would be as good an investment, but it's a very cool watch. If you're going to buy a Breitling, the best one to get is the Navitimer, which is what you've done there. I would say, what 4 would you keep? What 4 would you keep? You'd have to keep one of the GMTs. You'd have to keep one of the GMTs. You'd keep the Daytona. One of the sub or the this is quite an interesting discussion here. Let's start this from the top. Out of the GMT bundle, including the Explorer 2, you'd keep one of them. I reckon the 16710. That'd be the sweet spot. You'd have to keep the Daytona. I think that's. Now I know you say you bought it for investment only, but fuck that rule. I would be keeping that for myself. I'd be wearing the fucking thing. Come on, wear the fucking thing, okay? Wear it. These watches are for wearing, not hoarding. Then I would keep, out of the Rolex divers, you got the Submariner, the Sea Dweller, and the Yachtmaster. I reckon the Sea Dweller would be the one I'd be keeping. So we've got 3 so far. What else? Out of the other stuff, we've got the Hoya Camaro. I'd probably sell that. That'd be some good profit in that. The Breitling, that's a nice piece. I reckon the next thing you'd have to keep that Omega Speedmaster. That's such a classic watch. You would fuck off the Reduce. That's no problem. No loss there. Fuck off the Tudor Royal. Fuck that off. Fuck off the Oyster Date. Fuck that off. That's the Rolex Oyster Date. Fuck that off. Fuck off the Hoya Camaro. So if you're going to keep 5 pieces, I reckon I would go for the Navitimer. I reckon that'd be the next piece I would keep. And if I was going to keep a sixth piece, I'd probably go Explorer 2. I reckon that Explorer 2, I reckon they're a great usable everyday sort of piece there. And if you're going to keep a 7th, I'd keep the No Date Sub. That's how I would go through that there. You've got a great collection, Jock. That's man, early 20s. Fuck me dead. How many thousands of dollars have you got? Early 20s from Scotland. And I know the Scottish economy. It's fucked. So I got to say this to you. Jesus Christ, what do you do? That's really a super collection. Really fucking super duper collection. So good on you, Jock. I got to say, good on you. Well done, lad. Well done, lad. I really love it. Phew, it's a pretty fucking interesting discussion there. If we were going to add to it, the only thing I'd add to it is a Reverso. If you're going to add, I reckon I'd add a nice dress watch, JLC Reverso, tribute to 1931, or I'd adding a Grand. I love the Grand Date. Add the fucking Grand Date. I've got one. Archie's got one. So should you. So yeah, that's a couple. That's a bit of advice there. Great collection. So pleased you've gone Rolex. Those sports watches. That's good buying. That is fucking good buying. I hope you've got these in a bank safe because there's some nasty fuckers in Scotland. Let me give you the drum. Yeah, very. I like the pre-ceramic collections. That's a really cool collection there. So, okay, there we go, fuckers. Archie Luxury signing out. This has been a review for Jock. Tell me what you fuckers think of that. Nice one, Archie. Great collection.
We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece, we adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on Time, simply the best.